Okay, so you've got a little time, and we have, we've got something pretty specific for you today.
We do.
So we're doing a deep dive on this blog post,
Yeah.
and it's from Systems Plus Computers.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's called Simplify School IT Management with Systems Plus.
Catchy.
And this just came out March 18th, 2025. So, like, very recently.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Just hit the internet, so we're on top of it for you.
Absolutely. And, I mean, the title kind of lays it out there, right?
It does.
Yeah.
Like, how are they positioning themselves to help simplify this whole world of school IT management?
Mm-hmm.
Which, let's be honest, can be
Oh, a beast.
a bit of a nightmare, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And, I mean, for you listening, this is kind of your shortcut, right?
Exactly.
To understanding what they're all about without having to do all the legwork.
Yeah, we're gonna try and extract the big juicy nuggets out of here for you.
Absolutely. So let's dive in, right?
Let's do it.
They start by giving us some background about themselves, and this is interesting.
Okay.
This isn't some new company.
No.
They've been around since 1988.
Yeah, that's a while.
Working with schools, that's a pretty significant track record, I would say.
That is, and what I noticed right away is just how much they do.
Oh, yeah.
They talk about, purchasing the tech, servicing it all, those big rollouts that schools do.
Right. Every year, it seems like.
Yeah, it's like constant
New devices, new problem.
Exactly. So they're trying to be this like comprehensive one-stop shop, it seems like.
Right. And for someone like a school administrator,
Mm-hmm.
that could be incredibly appealing.
Oh, totally. Just having that single point of contact
Exactly.
instead of juggling like 5 different vendors.
Right. Exactly. So they definitely are kind of positioning themselves as understanding the unique challenges that schools have.
Yes. Very different from just like a normal business environment.
Right. With, much more controlled
Yeah.
number of devices and users.
Right. Right. You've got hundreds or even thousands of students and staff.
Yep. All using these devices.
And they're not always the most careful.
No, they're not always the most careful users.
Exactly. So it's a different ballgame for sure.
So they're saying, hey, we get it.
We get it.
And they kind of boil it down to this idea of like providing end-to-end solutions, but locally serviced.
Yes. That's key.
Which is huge.
That seems to be their big differentiator, right?
Right, because that means potentially quicker response times.
Right. Somebody can actually be there on site
Exactly.
instead of, trying to troubleshoot over the phone or waiting weeks for something to ship.
And when technology goes down in a school, I mean, that impacts everything.
Oh, it's a nightmare.
So,
The lessons are disrupted.
yeah, minimizing that downtime is absolutely critical.
Yeah, teachers can't teach kids, can't learn. It's a big deal.
So they move on to this section called Why Work With Us, which,
Of course.
everyone loves to toot their own horn a little bit.
Sure. Got to do a little bit of bragging.
So the first thing they jump out is reliable support. And I mean, what stood out to you about how they're talking about that?
Well, they're hitting on like those pain points, right?
Mhm.
Shipping devices away, waiting forever for warranties to get approved.
Yeah,
Like we've all been there with tech support. It's like the worst.
the worst.
But for a school IT department,
Yeah.
that can be like totally crippling.
Oh yeah, it can grind everything to a halt.
Exactly.
Oh.
So if they can actually like deliver on that promise,
Right.
that's a big selling point for sure.
And they're very specific about the kinds of devices they support.
Mm-hmm.
On-site certified service for Apple, Lenovo, and Chromebooks.
Right. Those are the big players in schools right now.
Absolutely. I mean, that covers pretty much every classroom I've been in lately.
Yeah, and that full warranty support thing that they keep mentioning,
Okay.
that could be a game changer.
It could because, I mean, dealing with warranties is just a pain.
Oh, it's a headache.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to deal with that paperwork and the phone calls and
So if they can take that on, that's
Yeah.
one less thing for those poor IT people to worry about.
right, they can focus on the important stuff, like actually keeping things running.
Okay, so reliable support, that seems to be a big one for them.
Mm-hmm.
Now they move on to this section. Hardware offerings and school device management options.
Okay.
So what are they actually offering, and how does that fit into what schools are already using?
Well, they list a bunch of, the usual suspects,
Yeah.
like Lenovo laptops, desktops, Chromebooks,
Mhm.
just Chromebooks in general, which
Right.
probably means other brands too.
Right.
And then they talk about the networking side.
Go ahead.
Netgear switches SonicWall and Sophos firewalls.
Yeah, gotta have those.
Ubiquity networking hardware. So pretty comprehensive. And of course, they mention accessories. So it
Uh-huh.
seems like they're trying to cover all the bases.
Like a one-stop shop kind of thing?
Yeah, basically outfit your whole school with technology.
Okay, so that's great. You have all this hardware, but how do you manage it?
Right, that's the key question.
Especially in a school environment.
Exactly. And that's where they bring up these device management platforms.
Okay.
Apple School Manager and Google Workspace for education.
Mm-hmm.
Those are like essential for schools these days.
Right, for managing all the user accounts and apps and all that.
Exactly. And by supporting those specifically,
Yeah,
they're showing that they understand how schools work.
right. It's not just about selling you a docs.
Right. They're thinking about how it all fits together.
Right, it's about making it work in the real world.
Exactly.
Uh.
So for you, that means less headache.
Exactly. Less headache, more learning.
Hopefully.
Right, so now they dig into their specialized support credentials.
Okay.
And this seems like this is where they really want to show off their expertise.
Show off the medals a little bit.
Right, so let's start with their Apple stuff.
All right.
What jumped out at you there?
Well, first of all, Apple Authorized Service Provider,
Mm-hmm.
that's a big deal.
It is.
It means they've met Apple's standards, and then they say over 35 years of experience with Apple products.
Wow.
That's a long time.
There's a lot of iPhones.
And Macs and everything else.
So, I mean, that means they've seen it all.
Pretty much. Yeah.
They know the ins and outs of how Apple stuff works.
Especially in schools.
Right.
They've been working with schools that whole time.
So they know what problems come up
Yeah. What the common issues are.
and how to fix them, hopefully.
Yeah. Oh, exactly.
And they specifically mention expert troubleshooting for Apple School Manager.
Which is crucial if you're using a lot of Apple devices.
Absolutely. That's your central hub for managing it all.
Right. And they also emphasize that they use genuine Apple parts.
Oh, yeah. That's important.
And their service is backed by Apple's warranty.
That's huge for schools.
It is, because they've invested a lot in this technology. They
Right.
want to make sure it lasts.
They don't want some janky third-party repair
Exactly.
that voids their warranty.
Right. They want the real deal.
So, okay, Apple, they're checking those boxes. What about Lenovo?
Okay, so for Lenovo, they say they've been a gold tier Lenovo authorized service provider since 1988.
Wow. So the same year they started working with schools.
Yeah, it seems like Lenovo has been a big part of their business from the beginning.
So again, they've got that long history,
Mm-hmm.
that deep expertise.
And they say they service all Lenovo computers,
Okay.
no matter where you bought them.
So even if you didn't get them from Systems Plus,
Exactly.
they'll still help you out.
Yep, that's a big plus.
It is, because some places will only service what they sell.
Right. They want you to buy from them.
But this is like, hey, we'll help you no matter what.
Yeah, we're here to support schools.
That's a good message.
And that gold tier status,
yeah.
that probably means they've got a really close relationship with Lenovo.
Right, like a preferred partner kind of thing.
Exactly. Access to more resources, training, that kind of thing.
Okay, so it's not just about break fix, it's about
Right.
being a partner.
Yeah, that's what they're emphasizing in this partnership approach section.
Okay, so what's the gist of that?
Basically, they want to be more than just a vendor.
Okay.
Like, they want to be a trusted advisor, somebody who's invested in the school's success,
right.
not just trying to sell them stuff.
So it's about building that long-term relationship,
Exactly.
understanding the school's needs.
And being proactive,
Right.
not just waiting for things to break, but trying to prevent problems.
That's ideal, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. That's what everybody wants.
Okay, so it's not just transactional.
It's a partnership.
It's a partnership.
They're in it for the long haul.
All right, I like it. So finally,
Yeah.
they end with a call to action.
Always got to have that.
What are they asking schools to do?
Well, they want them to reach out
Okay,
to talk about their specific needs.
makes sense.
They say you can either reply to the email with the blog post
Mm-hmm.
or call them directly, 603-643-5800, option 3.
All right, so if you're interested, you know who to call.
Exactly.
So to wrap things up, Systems Plus Computers, they're presenting themselves as this long-time IT support provider.
Mm-hmm.
Been working with schools since 1988.
That's a long time.
They're really focusing on that comprehensive local service,
Right.
especially for Apple and Lenovo devices.
The big names.
They talk about their reliable on-site support,
Mm-hmm.
handling warranties directly,
Yeah.
supporting those key school device management platforms,
Can't forget those.
and that whole partnership approach.
It's about more than just fixing computers.
Right, it's about being a part of the school community.
Helping schools succeed.
So for you, the listener, Hopefully this deep dive has given you a good overview
Yeah, quick snapshot.
of what Systems Plus is all about.
Saved you some time, hopefully.
Exactly.
You don't have to read the whole blog post now.
No, you can go get a coffee or something.
Exactly.
But it does raise a question.
It does.
I mean, technology is so crucial in schools these days.
It's the backbone of everything.
It really is.
So when you're choosing an IT support partner, what are the absolute must-haves?
Right. What are the
What are
non-negotiables?
the things that keep you up at night?
Because you're trusting them with a lot.
Their decisions affect everything.
Exactly. So that's something to think about
It is something to ponder
as you're making those decisions.
as you're sipping your coffee.
Exactly. All right.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for listening.